Sitting here right now in the middle of the out-of-home zone. It's the second day of the CETW show in New York. Sitting to my left is Mr. Joe Matriss, who is the managing director of Parkcast Network, which is one of the 10 due networks that are surrounding us right now. First of all, Joe, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it very much. Parkcast is a network made up of locations in different parking garages, which to people outside of big cities and downtown areas might seem a little counterintuitive. Can you explain exactly what Parkcast is?
Well, first of all, parking in a major city such as New York or Chicago is a part of everyone's daily routine. So we welcome them into the city, and we say goodnight to them on the way home. So it does give us two opportunities to reach out and drive your message home, as we like to say. It's a mobile audience. They're affluent. It costs quite a few dollars to park in New York or Chicago. And within the geographical network of Manhattan, we have clusters, or mini networks as we call them. We have a sports network. We have screens in Yankee Stadium, Madison Square Garden, and across the river in Red Bull Arena. We have a business network made up of screens in the World Financial Center and Wall Street garages. We have Midtown, Times Square Entertainment Network. So we really do have more than one network, and our network is very easy to hyper-target.
Yeah. Now, going off this hyper-targeting, it's something that we've seen a little bit in some of the literature surrounding Parkcast recently. The idea of using the very highly valuable locations versus trying to sell your entire network at one time. Have you been finding success kind of focusing in on this idea of less is more?
Yeah, we really have been, and we've also determined that's the bigger garages. As I said, we have Madison Square Garden, Yankee Stadium. It just makes sense. The Derek Jeter book is a great example of that. Their interest was only in Yankee Stadium. They didn't want to advertise anywhere else. We have Fox News, which is only interested in the business, our business network, which is World Financial Center. And then we have some Broadway shows that obviously want to advertise in Times Square. So we let you cherry pick the map.
Now, also, Parkcast started out here in New York, in Manhattan, and now it's expanding into downtown Chicago. Can you talk a little bit about how similar the footprint will be in Chicago?
It's almost exactly the same, and it's just by virtue of the fact that the cars are parked in the same areas of town. So we move into Chicago, we get the sports immediately. We have Wrigley Field, Soldier Field. We have the downtown business loop and the Miracle Mile. Again, it's the same footprint. Same in LA. Okay,
coming into the top 3 DMA across the country here, Parkcast Network. One final point about this is that in Manhattan, they have a stat up on the screen here. It costs $40 a day to park your car, which I live in Manhattan. That's more than my the rent for the room in my apartment that I have. But it's also the fact that you don't park your car yourself. I mean, there's actually an attendant who will park your car and then who will retrieve your car. So tell to me just our last question here, a little bit about the dwell time there and kind of what people are doing in that moment.
Well, the parking industry in general is very controlled, very regulated. There's exchange of money, so the transactions are documented. We know how many cars are in each garage every day. We have charts that show the different garage, how many times they turn over, if you will, in a day. The dwell time is built in. I mean, it's part of the experience. You have to surrender your keys. You don't just hop out of your automobile and exit. So there's about a minute and a half, 2 minutes when you drop your car off. And depending on the venue, it can be anywhere from 8, 9, 10 minutes to get your car back. And if you're at Madison Square Garden after a Knicks game, you can be there for 30 minutes. So we have dwell time. We have a captive audience. We have controlled areas where the patrons wait to get their car back. We like to say that we're there and they're there at the same time.
Yeah, which is a nice combination there. So, Joe, thank you so much for talking with us. Best of luck for you in the future.